Lata Mangeshkar, soundtrack of a billion people and more. From a blissful melody of a nation just out of colonial yoke to the rising music of 7 decades, Lata Mangeshkar's songs have been a staple. Lata consistently struck that divine surr. No one could match the purity and clarity of her voice. She has communicated through music from dawn to dusk. Her voice accompanied the citizens of a new country. The nation of more than billion lost its most popular voice. Lata Mangeshkar from 1929 to 2022 transcended to the heavenly stage on Sunday. More than just a name, over the years, the Bharat Ratna Award winner became an adjective, an emotion that got so deeply ingrained in the Indian consciousness that her voice became the benchmark of excellence and purity. Usually, film personalities have fans. Lata has devotees, especially the devotees, for if the melody is the link that connects the man to Almighty. Lata consistently struck that divine surr. Ephemeral phrases such as singing sensation were not for her. She was always a voice of virtue. No wonder her voice inspired Raj Kapoor to mount Satyam and also many of the great personalities in India. She fought for giving playback singers the space under the sun. Before Lata, the line between the actor and singer was just a blur, but the disc featured the name of character rather than a singer. She, along with Mohammad Rafi, gave the shape to the culture of the playback singing in Hindi cinema, just as Noor Jahan and Lata too was offered acting parts, but she wanted only her voice to be heard. Born in Indore on September 28, 1929 to Dinanath Mangeshkar, a classical singer and theatre personality, and Shevanti, Lata was named Hema at the birth, but her parents later renamed her after a woman character named Latika from her father's play Bhav Bandhan. Lata made her debut on a stage at the age of 5 in the play Subhadra. 9-year-old Lata played Narad. In 1942, Lata sang a song in Marathi movie Kiti Hasal, but it was dropped from the final cut. In 1945, she moved to Mumbai. She got the first major break with the song Dil Mera Thoda Mujhe Kahin Ka Chora, the movie Masboor, released in 1948. And also some of the picturesque movies of Mahbula became her first major hit. She received multiple national film awards, Padma Bhushan in the year of 1969, Padma Vibhushan in the year of 1999, Bharat Ratna in the year of 2001, Dada Saheb Phalke Award in the year of 1989, and also France's highest civilian award in the year of 2009. Lata Mangeshkar, a soundtrack of billion people, and also the blissful melody of a nation, is just a colonial yoke of rising music of 7 decades. Lata Mangeshkar's songs have been a staple, a collaboration most melodious. When Lata Mangeshkar sang Madan Mohan, she had a voice of heaven. He could conjure up the tunes that were out of the world. When they joined the hands, which fortunately very often the result was sheer magic. Lata Mangeshkar and Madan Mohan together gave Hindi cinema some of the sweetest songs. Through the decades, Lata Mangeshkar gave musical life to every syllable she sang. Lata Mangeshkar communicated through music. From dawn to dusk, her voice accompanied the citizens of a new country. How does one capture a lifetime of music in few words? Well, an un-Indian nightingale comes to the mind. A title bestowed on the early one. When in a voice described as sweet as a nightingale, her rendition of the songs of Indian soldier after the bruising defeat at the hands of neighbor moved the Prime Minister to tears. Lata Mangeshkar meant several things of people. To composer, she was a singer whose unblemished voice could not strike an off key, not even if she willed to. Lata's early struggle when money was hard to come by after her father's death mirrored the woes of young countries struggling to shake off its colonial yoke. The sheer drudgery of the early years stood in a sharp contrast to the moods her songs evoked in a voice honed by years of training in Indian classical music. Her voice trailed people after a new country found its voice in freedom. From dawn to dusk, her voice campaigned to the citizens of new country as they went about their daily course and defined the nation's mood. It is a voice to which the roadside vendor in Delhi had transacted his business. The long-side distance trucker had sped along the highway. The army jawans in Ladakh had kept guard at his frontier bunkers, or the glittering elite of Bombay that had denied the luxury hotels. In the era of black and white, her diamonds shone as she soared, sometimes on a solo flight, hitting all the high notes with clarity, gliding low to swoop on a low note in a gentle arc. Many a times a company of singers who have passed on. When India transitioned to the color, her diamonds glittered just as bright as she burnished her credentials as a one-woman industry. Her fight for rightful recognition of a playback singers on her records and on her program's aid helped future generations of singers who are now known, recognized and feted for their songs. Lata Mangeshkar, a sound of million people, is no more. Nation mourns its Nightingale. Lata Mangeshkar, affectionately called Nightingale of India,